Let's get more analysis on everything that Trump is expected to do with Tina Fordham, founder at Fordham Global Foresight. Tina, always great to have you on the show. We're expecting a flurry of executive actions over the next 24 hours. I'll be very keen to watch what he's done once we wake up tomorrow morning during the Asian trading session. Of course, the most impactful ones, most likely on immigration, on tariffs. On tariffs, it might be step by step. Which of these actions are pretty much priced in and expected by the markets? Which ones do you think might surprise us?
Thank you very much. Well, as you say, a flurry of activity is what Trump has promised to deliver. It's almost as if, 5 minutes after 12 today, Washington, D.C. time, he wants to project the expectation that the world is going to change. I'm not sure markets are expecting moves that will cause impact on the day so much as playing to the MAGA base, like pardoning the January 6th protesters and that sort of thing. Extending the tax cuts is expected. Changes to U.S. energy output would be welcomed also. Other things that being based here in Europe, as we are going to be watched closely, is what might happen next on Ukraine. And there, President Trump has managed expectations that that's going to take some months. So I think, there have already been leaks about rounding up immigrants in places like Chicago, illegal immigrants. So there'll be a lot of attempts, I think, to choreograph an impression of activity and decisiveness.
Tina, I think one of the most crucial questions is he's been promising so much on every single front. How much can he actually achieve? What are the limits to his power?
It's a really important question because, reading the press and what's coming out of the Trump transition team, you could be forgiven for thinking that Trump is all powerful, like the Wizard of Oz. But his margin for victory was decisive, not a landslide. He's got a very narrow margin in Congress, and he won't get support for everything that he wants to do. So there will be pushback. But what we've been looking at most closely is what he can do via executive order, because many of the things that you and I have been talking about are going to end up being resolved in the courts, mass deportations being one of them. And that, in fact, may play to the Trump team's narrative that the so-called deep state serves as an obstacle to some of the things he would like to achieve. But he won't be able to wave a magic wand and make all of this happen, and we'll be looking at how the courts react.
Tina, good morning. I know you speak to leaders around the world. You advise them on how to think about risks from a geopolitical perspective. What is most concerning to those leaders that you speak to?
I think that this will surprise an American audience, but, Trump has been very concerted in his statements about demanding more defense spending from European allies, threats about the security umbrella, which also, of course, includes Asia, South Korea and Japan, Australia, U.S. security allies, as well as tariffs. And the idea of, really punishing historical U.S. allies with this combination of demands for more spending and tariffs is unprecedented. And so there is a great deal of trepidation about what this might bring and, why the policy of dividing Europe when that, in fact, is something that both Russia and China would like to have happen.